Her voice sliced through the quiet street like a knife. "You thief! That's my car! You stole it!" The man froze in his driveway, hand still on the garage door. He had just returned home from a long night shift, only to be accused, by his own neighbor, of stealing the car sitting in his garage. Within moments, she was on the phone with 911, calling the police on the very man who had sacrificed everything to protect people like her. The garage door lifted slowly, humming against the morning stillness, revealing a dark blue sedan tucked neatly inside. Before the man could step forward, a shrill voice ripped across the street. "You thief! That's my car! You stole it!" Heads turned, curtains twitched. Neighbors peeked out, drawn to the sound of accusation. And there he stood, tall, weary, wearing the same work boots he had worn through endless shifts at the hospital. His name was Marcus, a combat veteran turned trauma nurse. He had spent the night tending to strangers' lives, stitching wounds, calming cries, holding hands in silence. Yet here, in the quiet of his own neighborhood, he was branded a criminal. The woman was no stranger. She was the self-appointed enforcer of the neighborhood association, always watching, always judging. And now, her fingers shook in fury as she pointed at him, screaming for others to witness. Marcus did not answer. He only looked at her, calm yet unyielding, his silence a shield stronger than words. For Marcus, silence had been carved into him by years of service. In the desert heat of foreign lands, he had learned patience. In the icy halls of hospitals, he had learned endurance. He bore invisible scars, the kind no uniform or badge could display. He had carried comrades to safety under gunfire, heard last words whispered in fading breaths, and returned home to a country that often forgot the cost of peace. Now, in his own driveway, he faced a battle of another kind, public disrespect masked as vigilance. The neighbors whispered among themselves, their eyes sliding between the screaming woman and the quiet man. No one spoke in his defense. Their silence deepened the injustice, pressing heavy against the morning air. Then came the words that cut deepest. "I just bought that car yesterday. He stole it and hid it in his garage." Marcus exhaled, steady as stone. His car was not new. It was a gift from his late brother, also a veteran who had not returned home. Every time Marcus drove it, he felt his brother's presence. It was not just a vehicle. It was memory. It was family. It was love held together by steel and wheels. Blue and red lights flickered down the street. The police arrived, answering the frantic call. The woman rushed toward them, waving her arms, rehearsing her tale of theft. The officers looked at Marcus, calm and still, standing beside the garage where the car waited silently. One officer asked for proof. The woman thrust papers forward, but they were blank, unsigned. Mere applications, not ownership. Marcus, without a word, handed over his registration, his name inked clearly, the date stamped long before her claim. Silence fell. The truth was undeniable. Yet Marcus did not gloat, did not raise his voice, did not seek revenge. He only whispered to the officers, words that echoed in the still air. Dignity doesn't need to shout. The officers turned toward the woman. Her face reddened as the weight of her false accusation hung heavy. Neighbors stepped closer now, their silence shifting. Some lowered their heads in shame. Others glanced at Marcus with newfound respect. And then, an unexpected sound broke the tension. Applause. One neighbor, then another, until the quiet street filled with clapping, not loud, but steady. A show of solidarity for the man who had borne so much in silence. Marcus simply closed his garage door. The car remained safe, the memory of his brother preserved, the truth unshaken. Later that evening, the same neighbors who had once watched in silence approached his home with small words of apology. He accepted them with the same grace he carried through war and through healing. He asked for nothing in return, only respect, the simplest gift often forgotten. And though he never sought recognition, his words lingered in the air long after the street grew quiet. Some battles are fought without a sound. Some victories are won by standing still. Respect costs nothing but means everything. Marcus's story reminds us that silent strength can outshine the loudest voices. Have you ever witnessed a moment where silence spoke louder than words? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. If this story moved you, subscribe for more stories that honor dignity, sacrifice, and unseen heroes.